Happy New Year! Well, actually, technically, it's not New Year for me yet. It's New Year's Eve. But by the time I post this video, it will in actual fact be New Year. So Happy New Year to you. Welcome back to another vlog, solo vlog. This time we're doing solo New Year and I'm actually very excited about it. I love New Year's Eve for manifesting. Like, now that I don't smoke, now that I don't drink, now that I don't go out and party, the last few years I've really focused on manifestation for New Year's Eve. So I've got some exciting manifestation tasks lined up tonight. I've well and truly been on a TikTok spiral of vision boards, journaling, like, you know, doing everything you can to actually make your vision board dreams come true. So that is what we're doing tonight. I'm currently at the retail park again. I'm going to go to Home Bargains, see if I can get, like, obviously a canvas to do my vision board. I sat up last night on Pinterest quite late, taking loads of little pictures off Pinterest for my vision board, so I need to go and get them printed off. I need to go to get M&S, get some party food for tonight because we're having a party for one, and then my dinner for tomorrow. And if I really can, I want to make it to Blank Street, but they do close at 5 PM and it is like 1:45 already. So whether I'll have time for that or not, I don't know, because I'll need to drive into town. So I have made myself the creamiest at home matcha today. Like, this I think has been my best matcha all year long. So yeah, I thought we could go together, get our bits for my manifestation board tonight, and then manifest with the new year tonight. And then tomorrow I'm actually doing something kind of rogue. I'm going to go to the cinema on New Year's Day. I've never done that before, didn't know the cinema was open, but I've been dying to go and see Wicked for Good, and I actually tried to go a few weeks ago, but I went up to the view at the fort and for some reason their system wasn't working and I couldn't buy a ticket inside, also couldn't buy a ticket online, so I basically couldn't go. So see, as I'm doing solo New Year tomorrow, I thought, why don't I go to a lunchtime show of Wicked for Good? So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. So yeah, let's get into it. I've also been on the side of TikTok that's talking about the Nina Parks makeup, and I did some of the techniques that the TikTok girls have been talking about, and my makeup's never looked better. I've never looked nicer, actually. Like, I've actually never looked nicer, and I think I found my perfect nude lip combo. So we're going into the new year feeling good about our makeup routine, we're feeling good about our lip combo. Now it's time to feel good about everything else. Right, so they've only got a 30 by 40 centimetre canvas, and I'm not sure that's going to cut the mustard because I've got a lot of pictures to print off. It is only $1.79, so I might just buy it and then maybe go and see if I can get a bigger one elsewhere and bring it back if I need to. Right, I got my canvas, but I already know she's not going to be big enough for the amount of pictures that I want to print off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to M&S, I'm going to get my food, and then I'm going to brave going up the fort, which is actually really annoying because I was at the fort last night and it was low-key really busy. So I'm going to go to the fort, go to Hobbycraft, see if I can get a bigger canvas, and then I'll go to Boots up the fort and try and print off my pictures, because I know they've got like a bank of like photo print and stuff at the back of the store. And I did also see this top that I wanted to buy out in M&S yesterday, but I was like, I'm not sure about it, but I've been thinking about it all night. So if I'm up the fort, I might as well go see if I can go and get that, and then hopefully maybe I'll have time to swing by town on the way back to pick up a Blank Street to take home. I'm also feeling low-key really good about my hair right now. I started using a new hair treatment and it's only been a couple of weeks, but touch wood, I feel like she's working wonders. Like, I feel like she's working wonders. I got the Actor Daily Scalp Serum, and she was spenny, but I got some money off because it was like on sale, and then obviously I did the whole subscribe thing, so I did get quite a decent amount of money off. I think like 35% or something. She was still spenny though. However, needless to say, right now I think it was worth the investment. So not only is my makeup looking great, my hair is also looking great. So 10 out of 10 win for me. 2026 I'm going to be getting the glass skin. I know I already have good skin and I'm very fortunate for that. I've always had good skin and like not too many problems, but this year I want glass skin. I've been using the Medicube pads, which do give you glass skin for about 12 hours. But I don't use them every night because I don't want to, like, I don't know, damage my skin barrier or whatever, so I try and like alternate. And I bought a new Retinol Beauty Adjocen eye cream last night. So 2026 is going to be my skincare year. What an outing that transpired to be. I'm actually exhausted and I was only at the house for a couple of hours. So I went to Retail Park, got myself a canvas. Felt like with the amount of pictures I'd saved from Pinterest last night, this was going to be too small of a canvas, which I do still agree with. Then I went to Marks to get some food. Shelves were basically bare. So I couldn't get everything I needed to get after moaning about going to the Marks and Spencer's at the Fort. I ended up at Marks and Spencer's at the Fort. Shelves were also bare. But I thought while I was at the Fort, I would go to Boots and get my pictures printed off. So I've got my pictures. I originally had 92 pictures and I had to whittle it down to 36. And these pictures cost me 20 Great British Pounds. If I wanted to print off the 92, it would have cost me 50 Great British Pounds. So I had to whittle it down in store. I still think I've got too many pictures for my vision board. I do have this, which I did also want to use, which lo and behold is basically the same freaking size as the one that I bought. So I'm thinking once I get my pictures out, I might actually make the two. I might make two vision boards. One for in that corner and then one to stick outside the door, like stick on my way out the door so I can like have the visual. And then when I was in M&S, I seen these at the till and I thought, I've been looking for these for ages. So I bought myself some ice face rollers. So I'm going to put them in the freezer so I can ice my face tomorrow. Start the year as you mean to go on. And then I picked up this little stripy blue number. This was the top that I was talking about earlier that I seen yesterday that I didn't buy, and then I thought I actually want that, so I went back to get it today. And I think the reason I want it is it's low-key reminding me of, you know, how the Treats two-piece set that Molly May had on, the one that was like in the red stripe. I did try and acquire that for Christmas, but obviously because Molly May wore it, it was sold out everywhere. So this is kind of giving that sort of vibe. So, and it was in the sale, it was only £8. So I'll be wearing that tomorrow. And then I got my Pritt stick. It was £3 for a pack of 3. I was like, I don't need 3 Pritt sticks. Surely this will be like £1.50. £2.65 I paid for that. £2.65. So I'd be as well buying the 3. But hey ho, it is what it is. That's how they get you on overconsumption. So I'm going to have a little bit of a lie down. I also went for a Chinese because I couldn't get any food in Marks and Spencer's for tonight. It was just too busy. There was too much going on and I just wanted to pick up something for tomorrow. So I basically got a Chinese on my way home. So I've ate a bit of that. I now need to lie down again. And I'll eat some more of it later. And then I'm going to journal my little heart out before making my vision board. I can't believe I'm going to end up making 2, but oh well. All for the fun. Some of the pictures, the pictures have actually turned out really quite good. Like for just taking them off Pinterest. Like the pictures have turned out well. So, I mean, some of them I'll be able to like that I can chop up and add on. Maybe I'll just do one. 2026 is my year. I feel like I made a good decision on the pictures. However, I had to whittle it down 3 or 4 times. I ended up starting and stopping because I had to like whittle it down because it was going to cost me so much money. I thought, I'm not paying that for pictures because don't be ridiculous. 50 Great British Pounds they wanted for 92 pictures, and I thought, absolutely not. Like, it's meant to be a fun activity. I'm not spending. And then also I'd went to Hobbycraft to see if I could get a bigger canvas. And for the bigger one, they were wanting something ridiculous like £18, and I thought, I paid £1.79 for that canvas out of Home Bargains. And obviously, the quality of the canvas is much better than Hobbycraft. However, for what I need it for, I did not need to be spending £18. So, my little £1.79 canvas from Home Bargains will absolutely do the trick. And then, if I've got space left over, pictures left over, I might do this as well. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but this was supposed to be my original vision board, but I never really got around to making it. And then, I don't know, I quite like the texture of it. You know, it's kind of nice. So then I was thinking maybe I should use it for something else, but We'll see where the night takes us. You know what? At this rate, I actually don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to make it up for the bells. So, I'm not going to do all the journaling that I'd originally planned to do. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to do the fun bit. I'm going to do the sticking the pictures down, laying it all out cute, the creative side. And then on Friday, I'm actually going for dance meditation, yoga and a sound bath meditation on Friday night. So on Friday morning stroke afternoon, I'll spend the day doing the journaling bits that go with it. And I can do all that before I go and like let it all out in the dance meditation and be cleansed by the sound bath. So that's actually what I'm going to do. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put on Wicked to prepare me for going to see Wicked for Good tomorrow. I'm going to have Wicked on in the background while I do my vision boards. I think my pictures are too big for my board. I've literally got 36 pictures, and at this rate I'm only going to be able to fit like 10 on. I knew the board was too small, but I really didn't want to pay £18 for a board out of Hobbycraft because that just felt a little bit excessive. I'm going to cut the pictures up and then I'm going to take it from there. Vision board one complete. My first vision board is ready. I'm actually really pleased with how that's turned out. Did it take me way longer than I anticipated? Yes. Are the pictures way bigger than what I thought they were going to be? Also yes, but I think she looks good. I'm happy that it's incorporated everything that I've wanted it to incorporate. And I've still got a whole other board to do. My second one has been put together. I just haven't glued it down yet, but it didn't take me anywhere near as long as the first one. I'm actually really happy with that. I think that looks cute. This is obviously the main one, the pièce de résistance. But they look great. I'm absolutely buzzing with those. So it's a successful manifestation vision board evening. Vision board number 1. Vision board number 2. I'm not going to lie, I was having a slight meltdown when I started doing it because I thought, I spent 20 quid on photos and I've got way too many pictures. But actually, it's worked out quite nicely, the way I've cut them up, the way I've stuck them on. I've actually made that work pretty well, I think. And I actually like how this is like hanging over a wee bit and just giving it a bit of texture. So I'm very, very pleased with both these. I'm going to hang this one up on the wall over there. And I'm going to put that one on my bedside table so I can see it when I'm, you know, at my dressing table. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with how these have turned out. My back is breaking, not going to lie. Have I done any journaling? No, but I definitely will be setting time aside for that on Friday. So yeah, I'm just going to chill, watch the rest of Wicked, try stay up till midnight to see in the new year. But who knows? Who knows if I'll make it to 12 AM? I've made a boob. So I've stuck my vision board down and I've went to tie the piece of string so I can hang it up. I've done it the wrong way. The little things are up here and it's on the wrong way. So don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I'll need to think of something because she's on the wrong way, so I can't hang her up, which is annoying because I want to hang up in that space over there. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Today's not the day for figuring that out, but should have tried the back of it before I started sticking things down. Happy New Year! I made it to the bells. Happy official New Year. I did make it to the bells last night, which was touch and go for a while because I honestly felt so ill after I ate my Chinese and I was absolutely knackered. But 12 o'clock actually came around quite quickly. By the time I did my vision boards, I think I finished that maybe at like 8:30. I didn't really have long to wait. Or maybe it was later than that. I've got no idea. But I feel like New Year came around very quickly. I personally love New Year. I love the whole fresh year, fresh start. I know there's a big thing, especially on TikTok, about it's not the real New Year, like New Year's in spring when everything's blooming. And I don't disagree with that. Like, I do fully believe that our ancestors would have celebrated a New Year in the springtime. But this is the world we live in. And I just think there's something about moving in, for, like, you know, finishing up in December and then moving into January. And I just personally love this time of year, like, to manifest for the year ahead and to, like, set my intentions and do some candle magic. Like, I enjoy all that. So all these people, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't be doing this, like, none of your manifestations are going to come true. Stop talking. Literally stop talking. Like, if I feel like I want to be manifesting, that is what I'm going to do. Like, you don't turn around in June and be like, oh, we've already had spring, so we're not going to manifest. You don't turn around in October and be like, oh, it's getting into the darker months, we don't manifest. Like, stop talking now. So I spent my night manifesting on the new year, and that has been like what I've done for the last couple of years, to be honest. For New Year's Eve is I sit in a journal and a manifest. Obviously I didn't do any journaling last night, but that will come. I've got my new top on today. I don't actually know how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm not sure I suit the drop shoulder, and it's not very me, but it's comfy, it's cozy. I'm just going to the cinema. I can't really be bothered doing a full face today. So I'm just currently trying to decide what I'm actually going to do with my face. I couldn't be bothered having wet hair either, so I brushed out all my curls and I've tried to revive them with a little Garnier spray, but they're not looking the best, so I will probably shove my hair up, no doubt. Unsure. But I'm just doing comfy casual today. I'm going to try and make, well, I'm not going to try, I am going to make the 1:30 showing of Wicked for Good. I believe it's like a 3-hour film. So let's say it starts like 2, it's going to finish at 5, and then I'll come home and I'll make my dinner. And then I'll chill. That is literally my plans for today. Nothing too exciting. I've actually never been to the cinema on New Year's Day. I don't think I've left the house on New Year's Day in a number of years. However, this year I am attempting to leave the house more. One thing about me is when I feel dysregulated or I've got things going on, I like to isolate. I like to hibernate. I like to stay at home. I don't really like to leave the house. And I've enjoyed my hibernation in December. But start the year as you mean to go on. So I want to be out a little bit more, doing things. So first of the month, first day of the year, I'm going to take myself off to the cinema for a little solo date to see a movie I've really wanted to see for ages. For months, literally since this came out. But I was ill when it came out. And then it took me ages to recover from the illness. And then, as I said earlier, when I did try and go and see it, the cinema it was broken. It was not working. I'm going to the fancy cinema today. I'm going to the Odeon Lux, you know, with the recliner seats and that, because I've had a look at all the other times and the other timings weren't great. So I'm going to the bougie cinema today to see my film. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. I did put Wicked for Good on, I did put Wicked on last night when I was doing my vision board in the background, so I was like, you know, mentally prepared for today. And I'm going to use if you see my last video, my little bump of a Bobbi Brown face base. This cost me £12. This tiny little 7ml tub cost me £12. However, she has filled to the brim, so I'll take that. I love this stuff so much, and I feel like I've not had it in ages. I ran out ages ago. So I think I might just do a bit of Bobbi Brown face base, and then I don't really think I can be bothered like putting foundation or anything on today. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. So I think I might just go like this, you know, because who's going to see me? I'm going to be in a dark cinema. Also tweezed my eyebrows last night, which I never ever 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 do. But I don't know, the last few years, since I moved back from England really, I've not really been like a go and get my eyebrows done every month kind of gal, because I haven't really needed to. Like, I've maybe went once every 3-4 months. I think the last time I got my eyebrows done was September, if I remember correctly. And I've got to the point in my life where no hair grows in the middle. And also the hair that grew like under here, it was just so like this eyebrow had barely anything, and this eyebrow had more hair, but it was just so light and fair. And I just thought, why am I paying to get my eyebrows done? And do you know what really annoys me now? I grew up in a generation, really show my age here, but when I first went to get my eyebrows done, they basically didn't take anything off the top of your eyebrow, because that's like the natural shape. So they wouldn't really touch the top, like maybe tweezed a few hairs that were out of place, but they would never like wax or thread the top. And I just feel like times have changed, and in the last few years everybody's like waxing or threading the top of your eyebrow, and I just don't like it, because I do have naturally nicely shaped brows. Like, everybody I've went to get my brows done has always told me that. I'm very grateful to have naturally shaped brows, but I've just sort of felt this year they've not been browing the same as what they used to brow. So I've decided in 2026 I'm taking matters into my own hands, and I'm going to be doing my own eyebrows from now on. Because once you pencil them in, like this one used to be the strongest eyebrow, you know, she was the bestest, and this one was kind of a bit touch or go. But actually, I don't know, I've kind of felt recently that this eyebrow's been the strongest, and this eye's she's not looking her best. I know they're supposed to be sisters and not twins and whatever, but I've decided that I'm not getting my eyebrows done anymore, and basically I'm just going to do them myself. And I feel like for my first attempt, I've made a pretty good job. So you won't see me get my eyebrows done in 2026, because we're not doing that anymore. I do need a new eyebrow gel, you know, a coloured one. I've got this like waxy thing from Benefit that I've been using, but I don't really like it. I mean, it's alright. Maybe I'm not using it properly. Actually, I did mention yesterday that I've been using that actor thing on my hair, and I have noticed the difference. Like, I've only been using it a couple of weeks, especially kind of around here. You know, we're seeing some growth, and she just feels overall in better condition, and there's definitely been way less hair loss than what I would normally have. So that's amazing. I feel like I'm just shedding a normal amount of hair now. So I also read on their website that you can put it on your eyebrows. So I've been putting a wee bit, I've not been putting loads on my eyebrows because I don't want to have pure massive bushy brows, but in the areas where they're a bit sparse, I have been putting a wee bit on my brows just to see if I can get some of my browage back, because that would be nice. The only thing about my brows that I don't love is they're not dark enough. Like, they could be doing me being a wee bit darker, but I could always tint them myself if I really want to, but I don't mind filling them in with a pencil. And then for lips today, I actually forgot I have this. I'm going to use my Vive Bounce Balm. And then I might just put like a wee touch of mascara on. Oh, my lights ran out of battery. And that is my for real no makeup. A little bit of Bobbi Brown face base, a little bit of mascara, and a Vive Bounce Balm, because I really can't be arsed today. And I'm only going to the cinema, so nobody's going to see me. This is the final cinema fit. I actually wore grey and blue yesterday, so I'm wondering why I'm in my grey and blue era, but comfy casual for the cinema. I'm actually howling at myself with my cinema snacks today. So first of all, starting off strong, we've got some Hotel chocolate penguins with little yellow feet that I got for my Christmas. Caramel. So that's a good choice. Then I've picked up 2 peach ginger trips. And then last but not least, because it's lunchtime, I'm taking pasta. Let me to the cinema. I'm taking a Marks and Spencer's chicken and tomato and basil pasta because I'm going to be hungry. Yes, I've got my glass straw in my hands, because if you're not drinking a can with a glass straw, it's just not the same. Obviously then, because I'm taking my pasta, I'm going to need a fork. So that's my cinema snacks. It's a bit rogue, but I can feel myself getting hungry already, so I know by the time I sit down I'm going to be starving. But I don't really enjoy cinema food. Like, I don't love a cinema hot dog. I don't love like nachos and stuff. I hate fake cheese. I cannot stand fake cheese. So getting food at the cinema just isn't an option. Going for food, I don't have time. So I'm taking my pasta to the cinema with me, and I tell you something, I'll enjoy it because I love that pasta. They've done it for years and I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's my cinema snacks. Rogue, yes. However, enjoyable. I've made it to the cinema. I even cleaned my glasses especially for the occasion. It's actually ages since I've been down here, you know. I actually can't remember the last time I was at the Key, and when I think about it, it was probably like at least 3 years ago. Barbie movie, that's what I came to see the last time here, so whenever that was. Anyway, I'm going to go into the cinema. I'm very excited. The roads were dead. That is the clearest I've seen the M8. Probably also in about 3 years. Like, insane. Anyway, I will come back and chat to you and tell you about how my Wicked experience was once I'm finished. Well, what an experience my cinema trip turned out to be. We're literally on the 4th of January. It's taken me 3 days to recover. No, I'm kidding on. It's not taking me 3 days to recover from the cinema trip. I did have to process my thoughts and feelings when I came out of the cinema though, because it's been a long time since I've been at the cinema. I've probably not been maybe to the cinema in like a year, right? Maybe, no, probably about a year, maybe just over a year was the last time I went to the cinema. And obviously in that time span, I've been working on my nervous system, rewiring my brain, regulating, all that jazz. And when I stepped into the cinema on Thursday, and then the advert started playing, I thought, oh my God, why is this so loud? Now, that makes me sound and feel so old, but I was actually sat there during the adverts like, if the film's going to be this loud, I'm not going to be able to cope. Like, I'm not going to be able to sit through 3 hours of this extreme loudness. Thankfully, by the time the film came on, the decibels had reduced slightly. I don't know if my ears just got accustomed to the sound or what, but thankfully by the time the film started, it didn't feel so overwhelmingly loud. Cinema was freezing cold. I was literally lying there like absolutely shaking, thinking I should have brought this jacket so I could like put it over me. I didn't take my jacket off once while I was in the cinema, and I actually thought I wish I brought this big black jacket so I could use it as a sleeping bag. Other than that, cinema experience was great. Wicked for good, loved it. Did think the first film was actually better than the second film, and that's maybe because the second one's, you know, a bit more dramatic, a bit more emotional, obviously not as maybe uplifting as the first one, but I did thoroughly enjoy it. I did really like the ending. I thought the ending was great. Obviously no spoilers here, everybody else has probably already seen it, but just in case you've not, the ending was good. I did like that ending. I did find, obviously because you know the Wizard of Oz, you know that story, I did find how they worked that in. I found it odd. Like, I felt like the timescales from what having seen the Wizard of Oz, didn't actually match up with like what they were portraying in the film. Loved the Tin Man origin story. Got me in the feels, not gonna lie, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it was good, but by the time I came out the cinema, I was feeling overwhelmed. When I got out the cinema, there was like this family, it looked like a mum, a dad and maybe the son, were having a blistering argument in the car park, like fighting each other, like throwing punches, grabbing each other, shouting and screaming. They were, I don't know what nationality they were, but they were screaming and shouting in a different language, so I didn't actually know what they were saying. But there's me standing outside my car, because obviously the sky was looking really pretty. We had pink sunset. I'm trying to take pictures of like the sky and the moon and the sunset, and there's this family over literally shouting and bawling at each other. Was insane. Was literally insane. And then Friday during the day, I was not feeling great. I was just feeling a bit tired, a bit overstimulated. So I had a chill day Friday, and then I got up and I came here to the gym where I'm sitting outside right now to go to dance meditation, restorative yoga, and then a sound bath. Fabulous for the start of the full moon. Fabulous evening had by all. I had a really good dance meditation experience. And then, sorry, I ended up with a bit of stage fright there. A couple standing outside having a full-scale conversation. Yeah, so Friday night I started off my full moon weekend with dance meditation, restorative yoga and a sound bath. And as I say, during my dance meditation I had a really good experience. Like, it was great. I think because obviously we're doing it in the dark as well now, just, you know, with the darker nights and stuff, you just get into it a bit more. So that was great. Basically, for anybody that doesn't know what dance meditation is, you put on like silent disco headphones. In the gym that I go to, they like formulate their own music, and it's like music that is meant to like lift your vibration and, you know, get you into a flow state. And then obviously, so like it kind of goes up, and then there's like a bit in the middle where it's just like, it's dance music for spiritual people. That's the only way I can describe it. It's not like full on techno music. You know, there's maybe like some Afro beats in there, or at other times they've had like songs that are maybe given like a kind of Spanish sort of feel. Like, there's beats in there, but it's also kind of dancey, is the only way to describe it. And then you just basically shake it out, do your own moves. You just like intuitively go with what your body says, because basically the whole like premise of it is your body already knows how to move. So if you just follow the intuitive nudges that your body's given you during the dance meditation, then you'll get the best experience. But obviously it's a room full of people doing it. Actually, that's the busiest one I've been in. I think there was like maybe 12 of us or something. So obviously you feel self-conscious because you're like, I don't want to look stupid in front of all these people. But everybody's in the same boat. You know, we're all trying really hard not to look at each other. Because you don't want to, make yourself feel self-conscious or make someone else feel self-conscious. And then, actually, I noticed when we were doing the dance meditation, you could see the moon, and I think it's Saturn that's out just now. You could see them like through the window. So I got my mat and I basically set up position, so I was like right at the window for the yoga and the sound bath, and it was great. Best 3 hours spent on a Friday night. And then yesterday after that, I always find after like a dance meditation and a sound bath, like a heavy spiritual like that night like that, I always feel just a bit depleted the next day. Like, you know, my body's sore. And I think it's because obviously energetically when you're doing like dance meditation and stuff, you are releasing, you know, emotions, whatever it might be. So I always feel a bit of a slump the next day. Also, I'm deep in my luteal phase. My luteal phase has well and truly kicked in, and I always feel really sluggish at this time of the month, and I can almost get a bit of like doom or gloom, thinking like, oh, this isn't going to work out, or blah blah blah, and self-doubt becomes extremely loud during the luteal phase, and the tiredness becomes extremely tiredness. So I haven't done my full moon journaling that I said I was going to do for my vision board, but I will get round to it. I'm just feeling a bit of resistance towards it right now, but I think that's because she's deep in her luteal phase. But I will get round to it in the not so distant future. And that sort of takes me on to where I want to go with my next video, to be honest. Obviously it's the start of the year, you know, we're all about new me, but not new year, new me, new year, better me. And kind of last year I really tried to get into doing like anti-inflammatory living. I was trying to do like the 30-day reset. I've done it, like I've tried it probably about 3 or 4 times, started it and then stopped after 2 weeks. I seem to not be able to get past the 2-week mark, and I think that's because I don't really know how to formulate meals other than like a really basic meal, like sweet potato, a bit of avocado with some garlic mixed in, some green veg, and then some form of protein meat, you know, turkey or a steak or lamb or whatever. So I just recycle that meal every day for 2 weeks, and then I think what happens is I get bored, and then I'm like, I could go something else. So what I've actually done, and it came on Friday, was I ordered the Sophie Richards Anti-Inflammatory 30-Day Reset book. So my plan is on Thursday of this week, I am starting my anti-inflammatory reset again. Have I actually opened the book and started reading it? No, but that's a task for tomorrow. So I guess I'm going to talk about that in my next video, go into a bit more detail on why I'm doing it, and sort of document the journey, because I feel like I learned about it through watching Sophie Richards, and that's not because I've got like endometriosis or anything like that, but just the way my body is, I just feel like that would be something that would be good for me to do. And having trialed it for a couple of weeks, multiple times throughout the year. I definitely still believe that. So I want to give it a good proper go. So I've ordered the book. It's got 80 recipes in it. So I feel like that should help me on the journey of trying to stick at it for the full 30 days. So if you've made it through to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'm going to come back at some point in the next week. And I'm going to give you a full anti-inflammatory, why I'm on that journey escapade, I guess. So if you're interested, please come back, please subscribe to the channel, let me know if you want to hear about my anti-inflammatory journey, and thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.